Hey everyone, welcome back to Corporate Decoder, the place where we bravely dive into the confusing world of corporate finance and find the hidden treasures, or maybe just uncover a whole lot of red flags. Today we are unboxing Scorpius Holdings Incorporated latest quarterly filing, and let me tell you, it's quite the financial roller coaster. So Scorpius Holdings Inc. has just dropped their Form 10Q for the period ending the 30th of June 2025. This is basically a check-in report for publicly traded companies showing how they're doing financially during a specific chunk of time. And based on what we are seeing here, it's a story of a company facing some pretty massive challenges. Let us start by looking at the bedrock of any company, its balance sheet. This table shows us what the company owns, what it owes, and what its shareholders own at a specific point in time. For Scorpius Holdings Incorporated as of the 30th of June 2025, their total assets stand at a little over $21.5 million. Now that might sound like a lot, but when you compare it to the 31st of December 2024, that figure was almost $39.2 million, so that's a pretty significant drop, a decrease of about $17.6 million. Looking at the liability side, which is what the company owes, it's a bit of a mixed bag. Total liabilities are around $29.5 million at the 30th of June 2025, down from over $37.5 million at the end of 2024. So they did reduce their debt, which is good, but the overall picture still points to a company with more liabilities than assets, which is reflected in their stockholders' deficit equity. This negative number is crucial. As of the 30th of June 2025, their total stockholders' equity is a negative $7.9 million. Compare that to the 31st of December 2024, when it was a positive $1.6 million, a dive from positive to negative territory in just 6 months signals some serious financial distress. This means if you were to liquidate all company assets and pay off all debts, there would not be enough to return anything to the shareholders. Now let's look at how the company performed in terms of making money and its expenses. The statements of operations cover revenue and costs. For the quarter ending the 30th of June 2025, Scorpius Holdings Incorporated reported revenue of just $227,534. This is a huge drop from the same quarter in 2024 when they had $759,944 in revenue. For the 6-month period ending the 30th of June 2025, revenue was only $439,798, significantly down from $4.2 million in the same period last year. This massive revenue decline is a stark warning sign. Their operating expenses, though, have also seen a reduction. For the 3 months ending the 30th of June 2025, they were $6 million down from over $10 million in the previous year. For the 6-month period, operating expenses were about $20 million down from $18.8 million. So they have been cutting costs, but the revenue is falling much faster. This cost cutting has not been enough to outrun the falling revenue, leading to substantial operating losses. For the 3 months ending the 30th of June 2025, the operating loss was $5.7 million, a slight improvement from a $9.2 million loss in the same period in 2024. However, for the 6-month period, the operating loss was $19.5 million compared to a $13.9 million loss in the first half of 2024. This widening loss in the 6-month period paints a concerning picture of their financial health. And when you factor in everything else like interest and other non-operating items, the net loss attributable to Scorpius Holdings Incorporated for the 3 months ending the 30th of June 2025 was $4.0 million. And for the 6-month period, it was an even heftier $14.7 million. This shows that while they are trying to manage their expenses, the bottom line is still consistently negative. These statements give us a snapshot of the changes in equity over time broken down by different categories. What really jumps out here is the significant increase in the common stock and additional paid in capital balances, which is likely due to issuances of new shares as they tried to raise funds. For instance, the common stock value went from $1017 at the end of 2024 to $12,229 by the 30th of June 2025. And additional paid in capital saw a jump from $293.2 million to almost $299.3 million. This usually means they sold more stock to get cash. But look at the accumulated deficit. It has grown from negative $287.1 million at the end of 2024 to negative $301.9 million by the 30th of June 2025. This shows that despite raising capital, they are still accumulating losses. You can also see negative controlling interest balances, which can indicate complex ownership structures or financial arrangements. The cash flow statements tell us where a company is getting its money from and where it is spending it. For the 6 months ended the 30th of June 2025, Scorpius Holdings Incorporated used $6.8 million in cash from operating activities. This is an improvement from the $10.7 million they used in the same period in 2024. They also had $0.1 million provided by investing activities, which is a big difference from the $2.5 million provided in 2024. On the financing activities side, they had $6.2 million provided in 2025 compared to $9.5 million in 2024. It seems their cash has been flowing out predominantly for operations and less cash is coming in from financing activities compared to the previous year. When you put it all together, their net decrease in cash and cash equivalents for the 6 months ending the 30th of June 2025 was $507,479, meaning their cash pile shrunk. This is better than the $1.2 million decrease in the comparative period of 2024, but still shows they are burning through cash. Now for the truly dramatic part, the filing details a notice of public disposition received on the 10th of October 2025 from the collateral agent regarding the December 2024 secured convertible notes. These notes were in default and secured by all of the company's assets. A public sale of these assets took place on the 24th of November 2025. The sale of the CDMO biomanufacturing facility assets on the 10th of December 2025 brought in $16.2 million. The consequence of this asset sale is Stark the company now has minimal operations and minimal assets. This section is where management explains what is happening with the company. They clearly state that post-asset sale, they have no or nominal operations and no or nominal assets and are considered a shell company. Their CDMO lease was terminated in March 2025 due to non-payment of rent. They expect to generate revenue only if another business is merged into the company or acquired. They also mention that their status as a shell company will negatively impact investor attraction. This is where we see the real financial struggles. The company details its accumulated deficit of $302 million and a net loss of $15.6 million for the first 6 months of 2025. Crucially, they highlight that they need to generate significant revenues to achieve profitability and may never do so. Management has concluded there is substantial doubt about the company's ability to continue as a going concern within 1 year. This is a fancy way of saying they might not be around in a year without major changes. Then we have this concerning news about delisting. In April 2025, the company received a notice from Nice American due to failure to file its annual report on time. Trading of their stock was suspended and delisting proceedings began because of the low selling price of their common stock. Subsequently, their shares started trading on the OTC Markets Pink Limited Exchange, and the defaults continue. In September 2025, the company received a notice of default and acceleration letter from holders of the December 2024 secured convertible notes for various reasons, including failure to maintain registration statements and failure to make payments. This means all amounts owed under these notes became due and payable. This risk factor is laid out very plainly. The company is now essentially a shell with no operational assets, and the future hinges on finding a merger or acquisition. Without this, bankruptcy and liquidation are real possibilities. This statement in the risk factors section leaves no room for interpretation. They are not expecting revenue anytime soon and have a history of significant losses. This is a critical point for investors. The company admits to multiple material weaknesses in their financial reporting controls. These include issues with Access income tax accounting management reviews and impairment of long-lived assets. This lack of strong internal controls can lead to misstated financial reports, which erodes investor confidence and can lead to regulatory issues. They are working on fixing these, but there are no guarantees. So let's break down what this all means. Scorpius Holdings Inc. appears to be in a dire financial situation. They have sold off their core operational assets after defaulting on significant debt, their revenue has plummeted, and they are a shell company with substantial accumulated losses. While they have managed to slightly reduce their operating expenses, that has not been enough to counter the massive drop in revenue. Their ability to continue as a going concern is in serious doubt, and the repeated mention of bankruptcy or liquidation in the filing is a major red flag. The company's direction is clearly uncertain. The sale of assets and the shell company status indicate a pivot or possibly an end to their previous business model. The major risks are their lack of revenue generating assets, their significant debt load, and the ongoing issues with internal controls. There is a slim opportunity if they can find a merger or acquisition partner, but the path to that is fraught with challenges. In conclusion, Scorpius Holdings Inc. is facing an uphill battle. The financial numbers tell a story of a company that has struggled significantly and has now been forced to sell its assets. Their future will depend entirely on their ability to find a buyer for the company or facilitate a merger. Until then, the outlook remains extremely bleak. What do you think about Scorpius Holdings Incorporated's situation? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. If you found this breakdown helpful, please hit that like button and subscribe for more deep dives into corporate filings. And hey, if you want to connect with fellow finance enthusiasts and get even more insights, join our Discord community, linked in the description. Thanks for watching, and until next time, stay curious and keep decoding.